Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us online. This is Hard Talk from Kuala Lumpur every Monday at 10 p.m. And tonight we have with us our guest, Su-Ching.
Hello.
Whom I have known for what, less than a year? No, more than a year.
Probably two years plus.
Oh, okay. Time passes very quickly. And when we met, I just felt we were kindred in spirit and had very similar kind of like ideas and values and how things should be, right? So, Su-Ching, welcome to Hard Talk.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us something about what you do, because I know you as someone who is a director in the corporate world. Can you just tell us a little bit about what you do?
I'm an accountant. When people ask me, what do you do? I'm an accountant. But I have several appointments with different companies. I sit on the board of some listed companies as well. And now I'm a lecturer in a university. I wear several hats and I love it. Am I able to do it all? Of course I can. So in a way, everything that I do relates to accounting or finance. And I'm living my dream life. Everybody sees me and thinks that, oh, I want your life.
Thank you for that. And I know you as first as an independent board member, a director. And then you started lecturing. I thought, oh, that's a real job now.
It pays the least.
That's true.
But it's a real job. Yeah.
The other job, you get paid for more responsibility and accountability rather than actual hard work as such. You recently went through the Advanced Living series. At least you completed the Discovery and Transformation, the first two parts. Yes. And you are now in the second week or going on the third week of the Legacy program.
I'm going towards the second week.
Oh, going towards completing the second week. Yeah. Okay. So maybe you could tell us about your experience and what you learned and what you saw was valuable in the Discovery and Transformation first.
Yeah. Discovery, as the name suggests, was a platform for me to discover myself and what are the things that have been limiting me thus far. Maybe that was also necessary, because I wouldn't know now, for me to undertake the brave step. I say brave because I actually have a little problem speaking in front of an audience. I get nervous. I still have butterflies in my stomach. I think that's a good thing. So my first day at school, I actually had to take a deep breath before I got in. So I discovered a few things about myself and what was limiting me. And I was very excited to go towards transformation. Transformation means after you've discovered, how are you going to do things differently such that you don't experience the same grief that you have? So transformation was phenomenal for me. I got to learn a lot about trust. I have an issue with trusting people generally. I also realized that I have forgotten to celebrate and have fun along the way. That was also a big learning, very big learning for me. In Discovery, there is an exercise that we go through where look at the other person and connect to the other person. That one was very meaningful for me. I recall doing Discovery 20 years ago, and that was the single moment that I still bring to today. So that was actually the precious take-home value for me for Discovery and Transformation.
That connection.
Yes. Able to see the other person as a person. I think life, I blame it on life, but actually it's just me. I tend to be very judgmental about people. When I see a face, I go, oh, I already know.
Yeah.
But I don't know anything. Yeah. Being able to see people as a clean slate and giving them that trust, that's big for me.
What was your experience of yourself after transformation?
Sounds a bit strange. I'm very reserved, I thought, but I have a wild side. That was my experience of myself. I know how to have fun. Don't believe my children. I do. I also learned that it is okay not to have to shout out your achievements in order for people to love you. Because to me, achievements are so important. Oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. A lot of it has to do with upbringing, yes.
Yes, of course.
But once you have that realization, then what do you do with that realization? You got to use it to empower you, not disempower you. So what is the next step of action that empowers you?
What's the feeling behind that realization that comes along with that realization?
Actually, it's that of excitement.
Mm.
Geez, what can possibly happen for me? My life is so great. How
Mm.
can it even be greater?
Mm.
So I'm elated and I anticipate the future with excitement, while not forgetting to live in that in this moment that we have. We talk a lot in almost anything, either in yoga or in every spiritual practice, to be present. I do even meditation and all that. But the activities in the whole program that I've gone through forces you to be in it. You have to be in that moment, or you can't complete things. It is living out being in that moment.
It sounds as if you had a new kind of experience of what it means to be present.
Yes, I do. Actually, it's almost immediate. When I went home to my family, they feel it too.
Mm.
My son actually told me, it was very strange. He says, because we watch a lot of movies together, and after the movies, we normally have fun, like, okay, how did you feel about that movie? One day I was a little busy and I told him I would watch a movie with him, but something came out and I'm so sorry, I cannot. Then he looked a bit down and said, what's going on? And then he says, you don't understand it, isn't it? I actually look forward to having fun with you.
Wow. Oh, okay.
Fun.
Have you since then ruined your reputation as someone who can't have fun?
It's not much of a reputation to have. Spontaneity is also that was a bit rare for me. I know where it comes from. It's from my parents, and even up to today, they're not spontaneous. I complain about them for being not spontaneous, but a lot of it has rubbed off. Getting into that mode, I must say that it wasn't easy. In the moment it came, I was still hesitant, like, should I still do this? Because this is so unlike me. But the important thing is to remember what the feeling was and what you want to achieve, and just do it anyway.
So it's kind of a breaking out of some deeply ingrained patterns.
Yeah. And yet still being me.
Yeah.
So I'm still
I
me.
think that's an important point, that you are not just adopting another personality.
I don't know any other training that has so much impact on me at this present moment. And I just met a friend and he says, but you've been spending a lot on self-improvement. I do that. I go all over the world if I must to work on myself. But here we are so lucky that it is here. If I go and see Anthony Robbins in Australia, I got to take the flight, the hotel and all that. We have got world-class trainers and world-class facilities as well. Aren't we lucky?
Listen to that. Imported stuff always sounds better, right?
It sounds better.
This is local.
Yeah. When I see friends and I tell them, one of the first things they ask is, where are the trainers from? So I said, don't worry, they're world-class trainers. The trainers are not important. It is the program that is important. So you don't hear us talking about the trainers. That's fine.
Right. But some trainings are personality centered.
Yeah. Anthony Robbins?
Yeah, it's a personality. Okay, so with that spirit, you went into the legacy program.
Yes.
And it's now
Heart
coming
first. But if I use my brain, I'll probably chicken out.
So you jumped in hard first, and it's hardly 2 weeks. Was it eventful?
Yes, it's okay to talk about week one. So
sure, yes. I mean, it must be something if you are splitting up into weeks.
The element of surprise surprised me, and initially I was like, go, go, go. But on the last day of week one, I was so scared. I was afraid to go out into the world because I don't know what is in front of me, and have I taken on more than I can chew? It seemed like it. No matter what I say at that moment, I just couldn't shake the feeling. But I was I wouldn't say I'm pleasantly surprised. I already know the support system is going to be there, but I still valued it anyway. My small group leader in the past also helped me and said that you don't know what you're capable of until you do it. And when that brought me a lot of comfort. But while living through this experience, I realized that when you're in the process of doing it, it's not that bad. It is the perception and the stories I tell myself that had created the monster. Like 3 weeks on, someone told me I look kind of calm, although I'm in legacy, and I said, yeah, you just didn't see me then. It was ugly. Luckily, you didn't see me, but I'm over it for the moment. I'm not saying that it won't happen again. I'm sure I'll go through my highs, but I'm also comforted that if I can survive all this, it's really not that bad. You just have to just face it. The only way to address it is to go through it.
Now, in retrospect, because it's now second week,
yeah.
How do you feel about that feeling of, how do we describe feeling of overwhelm, or what do you
anxiety, overwhelmed, and all those scared.
How do you see that now?
I think I had to go through it. I won't downplay its importance. I'm happy that I went through it then. If I see in others later, I can really empathize. I think that it was also necessary for my personal growth, and it was just an experience. I didn't even think about it.
So what happened since then, and what kind of experience or what may come now?
I'm really looking forward to completing the personal projects. In fact, one of the things that we're supposed to do is to study a leader. That's okay to study.
A leadership study, yes.
Leadership study. And I was so engrossed in mine that there was one night when I was reading, and then I look at the time and wow, 2 a.m. Time to sleep. It got me so engrossed that I'm already halfway through the book, and we're not halfway through.
Which leader did you choose?
I chose Oprah Winfrey. And now I'm ready to move on to another book, and I've actually bought another book. I also learned that Oprah is just a human being like everybody else. And I understand now why it was necessary to read a biography of these leaders or people that have been successful. Then you realize that they're just human beings, just like you and me. They just learn to overcome it along the way. Reading about them also gives me the belief, it compounds the belief that we're all able and capable of, perhaps we are already leaders in our own right.
So the challenge is just allowing yourself to be. Is that how you feel?
Perhaps, but in the way I define it, how I define it, there's nobody else is going to define it for me. In the community service that I went to, and I went there, I realized, oh wow, I can actually not only do this, but since I'm there, I could do more. I could do this and do this and this. And I was so eager and excited about the prospects. I wrote a to-do list, and I looked at other possibilities that could be. And I'm so afraid that I forget to bring, so I have a bag prepared with my checklist.
Is that the accountant in you coming out?
Yeah, that's the accountant in me. But that's okay, because it works, right? Anything, so long as it works.
You've introduced several people who have signed up for the training. In that process, you mentioned to me that you met people who actually have done the training elsewhere, perhaps, and many years ago. Tell us about that experience of discovering that you're not the only one.
I've met quite a few people, but 3 in particular. One is an author, and he has, as I was describing the training, he says, I know what you're talking about, and I went through it. And then he described his journey to me, and now he's an author of 2, soon to be 3 books. And as soon as he said, I've been to the training, suddenly it all makes so much sense. The person that he is and how he carries and portrays himself. The other is an owner of a business and a good friend of mine. He's always so positive, so inclusive. Whenever you ask him for something and he's able to do it, he can see the value. He never says no, and he almost overextends himself. As soon as he said that, I've been in the training before 10 years ago, and I go, wow, it can last. And then he says, yeah, it's with you for life. And then he says, out of the so many trainings, because he's also a believer of personal development, he says this is one of the most long-lasting, and it will stay with you forever and a day. The other one was a younger, in a bigger organization that I was in, and I always wondered why he was so motivated. He was just a young executive, and he learned a little bit of programming, and he designed certain things. After all that, he still had time to go to a single mother's home and tutor kids with their tuition. And this one wasn't told to me by him, but through somebody else, because I know the person running that home. So I was always wondering why this guy is so motivated. It must be because his parents brought him up well. No, it was the training. It was a good chance for me to just catch up with him. Oh, where are you now? And he was just telling me what he's doing at the moment. And I'm so happy for him. Cannot wait actually for my children to be a part of this journey. It will really, really prepare them for life. It's just that my daughter is in Taiwan and my son is only 16. So in time, this is definitely something that I would want them to experience. And if I want that for my children, I'm thinking that it will be so good for my friends who have children of the same age. So when it comes across as I really care for you, and this is something that I'll do for my kids, is something that you will probably think for your kids as well. People can feel the genuineness of that sharing. So only when I really care for someone do I bother, because telling people about your experience would take a bit of time. Yeah. If I do see you, it's because I care for you.
So how do you feel about the remaining of the program, given you met these 3 people?
I realized that there is a community. We're there to help support each other. So perhaps then rope them into that community and see how we can make this world a lot better, at least in this corner of the world. Personal belief is I feel if everyone had a chance to go through this journey, we would be better as a group. It's important to then grow that community. Well, it's important for me now.
Thank you. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is one experience of the training. It is unique to Su-Ching. So if it's somebody else, then it would be probably a slightly different story. But I think there'll be some common threads.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to say to the audience before we close?
Why you're not here yet? Hashtag, you should be here.
And of course, when you first came in, you didn't realize.
No, I didn't realize. I did discovery 20 plus years ago, so I've forgotten. And I almost didn't make it for transformation. Actually, now looking back, it was a way for me not to deal with myself. I'm very grateful to you and Danush to not take my nonsense. Danush did say something to me, nothing will change if you continue the same. And that to me was everything.
That's why you decided not to put it off.
Yeah, because it was more important. I have my reasons, I can make it valid, but being happy and being able to deal with all the challenges that life throws at me was more important than hiding and being comfortable.
Yeah, we're comfortable with the way we normally do things, so we stick to that. So some time ago, someone hashtagged you should be here, right? And now you are just passing on the same message.
Yes.
So thank you, Su-Ching, for being with us, and
You're
appreciate
very welcome.
your candidness, and thank you very much.
Anytime.
So ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our podcast for today. We'll see you again next Monday, 10 p.m. from Kuala Lumpur. Thank you very much for listening.
Adios.
Bye.